Well, very often we hear alarming stats about horrific vehicle injuries to passengers, and oftentimes we think just because we buy a booster seat or a car seat, our kids are protected. But the matter of the fact is, just getting the protective seat may not always be enough. So that's why we're joined right now by Tabitha from the Idaho Transportation Department. She's here to give us some information and also tell us about Child Passenger Safety Week and how we can all ensure our kids are safe. So Tabitha, what is Child Passenger Safety Week? And it's kind of an obvious question, but why is it so important?
Yeah, Child Passenger Safety Week is a nationwide campaign to educate caregivers on making sure their kids are in the right car seat and that the car seat is installed correctly. So in 2019, we lost 608 kids in car seats across the nation in crashes, and so it's so important that we do everything we can to make sure we keep our kids safe in cars.
Yes, and just like we stated off the top, just because you have the equipment doesn't necessarily mean it's enough. You have to know how to use it properly, right?
Yes.
Make sure it's being installed properly, that it's fitted into your child's fitted to it properly. So how do we know though that something's fitted properly, or when we need to move up to the next level? Because these all come in different stages, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have a car seat here, and I can give you kind of an example. So this car seat has a height limit of a weight limit of 5 to 40 pounds, and then a height limit of 19 to 40 inches. And this kiddo here is 38 inches. And she may look like she's too big for it to be rear facing, but if you were to look at the manufacturer's label on the car seat, that is what we recommend, is you keep kids in car seats until the manufacturer's label recommends that you move them up to the next one. So I know a lot of parents would worry that their kiddos' legs are too long and they'll kick the back seat, but this is truly the best way. Rear facing is the best way to keep them safe. And then when you do turn them around, you'll want to keep them in the harness as long as you possibly can, again, until the height and weight limits on the manufacturer's label.
Okay, so it's really important then that you're paying attention to your specific piece of equipment. You can't go by a standard, or you hear that your friend's child is now in a booster seat and they're about the same height, so you think it's safe and okay. Really comes down to what you have in your car.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
And then we have bucket seats for kiddos, little baby ones, infant ones, up to the transitional seats, up to booster seats. There's so much to know. When parents come in and you start talking to them about, car seat safety awareness, what are some of the main things you hear?
So a lot of what we see when parents bring their kiddos into car seat technicians is this chest clip, for example, needs to be at armpit level. A lot of times we'll see it over the belly or up by the neck. Also, the harness straps could be installed in the wrong slots, or the buckle strap here between the kiddo's legs is in the wrong slot. As far as installation goes, we see the seat belt routed through the wrong path, or the top tether not being connected anchored in forward-facing mode. And so, but if you ever have any questions, you can just ask a child passenger safety technician to take a look, and they'd be happy to help you.
And I think that is so incredibly valuable, because both of my children they're 5.5 years apart. So when my first one was born, we took our car to a fire department and had them put in the base to our child car seat. At that time, it was like yanking and pulling and making sure it's so super secure and tight. But from what I understand now, that's not necessarily the standard anymore based on the equipment that you have.
Right.
It would be easy for me to assume, right, when my second child was born, well, we already know what we're doing. We've done this before. We'll just put it in the way that we saw it installed first. But that's not the case. Things are always improving and evolving. Equipment's changing. So you just can't take things for granted and assume that you already know what's happening. It's really important that you do check in with a specialist to make sure that you're doing what is required at this time, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us then, how can we learn more about Child Passenger Safety Week and also Seat Check Saturday, which is a great opportunity to learn exactly what we're talking about?
Yes. So you can go to shift-idaho.org. That's our website. Click on Child Passenger Safety. We have a list of Seat Check Saturday events across the state. And we also have a link to be able to find a child passenger safety technician in your area in case you can't make it to Seat Check Saturday.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, great. So if you can show up, come on out. People will be there.
Yeah.
You get to learn, and then if that doesn't work, then you can also find other opportunities beyond that.
Absolutely.
Love it. Tabitha, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. I'm personally very passionate about this. This is such an important thing for families to know, especially new parents and older parents as well. You can't take things for granted.
That's
Thank you
right.
so much, Tabitha.
Thank you.
All right.